Hi, it's Maria from Still Dreaming Homestead. Good to be back with you again. I hope some of you saw my video today when I went to pick peaches at a friend's house. If you haven't seen it, go back and find that one. Well, it looks very yummy, I want to tell you. Tonight I'm going to read the Burnstein Bears and the Double Dare. And this says, no trespassing, private property. Uh-oh. Burnstein Bears and the Double Dare. Have you ever had anybody dare you to do something? People usually do that when it's something you shouldn't be doing anyhow. Let's see what's going to happen with the Burnstein Bear cubs. It was one of those days in bear country when everything was going so well. You just knew that at any moment something was bound to go wrong. Papa Bear was off chopping wood in the forest. Mama Bear was putting in some tomato plants. Brother Bear was working on a tangled fishing line. I'll show you the first picture here. There's Mama Bear planting tomatoes and Brother Bear. And Sister Bear was running up the front porch as upset as she could be. Mama, Mama, she shouted. What is it, sweetie? There's Papa Bear. They took. Sister Bear was so angry she could hardly speak. Calm down, dear, said Mama, and tell us what happened. Some big cubs at the playground took my jump rope and won't give it back, Sister said. Ooh, that's making Brother angry. Mama wanted to hear more, but Brother had heard quite enough. He just knew it was those troublemakers, Too Tall Grizzly and his gang, bothering smaller cubs again. So he stalked, heading straight for the playground. There he goes. Not only were Too Tall and his gang still there, but Too Tall was jumping with his sister's rope. Onesie, twosie, I love yousie, he sang in a mocking voice. Threesie, foursie, shut the doorsie. That's my sister's rope, shouted Brother. Give it back, you big oaf. Or what? Sneered Too Tall. Or I may have to cut you down to size, said Brother, reaching for the rope. Go ahead and try it, said Too Tall, keeping the rope away from Brother with one hand and holding him off with the other. You know what they say, yuck, 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 he added, chuckling at his own joke. Half an oaf is better than none. When the gang joined in laughter, Brother got angrier. He forgot about the rope and began swinging at Too Tall. See how he can't even reach him because Too Tall's so much bigger? Why don't you stop bothering my sister, Brother said, and pick on someone your own size? Why don't you pick on someone your own size, said Too Tall, grinning. And anyway, here's your sister's dopey rope back anyhow. Huh? Said Brother, more than a little confused. Well, thanks, I guess. I'll be going now. See you. Hey, wait a minute, called Too Tall. I might be able to use a cub like you. You got moxie. Moxie? Said Brother. Yeah, spunk. nerve, moxie. He put his big arm around Brother Bear's shoulders. Why don't you come with us and have a little fun? The rest of the gang gathered around and Brother said, I really think I better go. What's the matter? Are you chicken? Are you chicken? Another one began strutting, flapping his arms like a chicken and clucking, bark, 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 ah, bark, bark, ah. Pretty soon the whole gang was strutting and chucking all over the place. When I was young, I had some people call me chicken, and I didn't like it one little bit. I am not chicken, protested Brother. Prove it, said Too Tall. Come along with us for some fun. Brother was a little nervous about joining the gang, but he certainly didn't want them to think he was a chicken. So, when they scampered off into the woods, he followed them. He got more and more nervous as they led him along the dangerous old quarry path across Roaring Creek. A quarry is where they dig rock out. It does look pretty dangerous. Past the spooky old tree. After a few more twists and turns, Too Tall signaled to stop. When Brother saw where they were, he was surprised and pleased. There's the old spooky tree. And now, hey, Brother's feeling a lot better. Hey, he said, this is Farmer Ben's watermelon paw. Shh, hissed Too Tall, clapping his hand over his mouth. Want to spoil our fun? That sign says trespassing. Private property, no trespassing. It turned out that Too Tall's idea of fun was to run off with Farmer Ben's watermelons. It's really warm here. And as the newest member of the gang, Brother was the one who was expected to do it. But Farmer Ben is a friend of mine, he protested. Besides, it isn't honest. The gang flapped their arms like chickens and clucked, bark, 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 into Brother's ear. I am not chicken, Brother insisted. Then go ahead and take the watermelon, said Too Tall. Farmer Ben'll never miss it. Brother Bear looked all around. Ben was nowhere to be seen. It was sort of exciting to be in the gang. Dare you, said Too Tall. Brother didn't move. Double dare you, they said. Still, Brother did not move. De double dare you, said Too Tall, and the whole gang. Ooh, that's a lot of pressure. The double dare did it. Ever so quietly, ever so carefully, Brother Bear crept through the tall grass, through the fence, and past the no trespassing private property sign, and picked the biggest, fattest, greenest watermelon in the patch. Then he broke it off the stem and picked it up. Look, you think somebody's watching him? Got you, you thieving varmint, shouted a voice. Too Tall and his gang ran away, leaving Brother Bear holding the watermelon. Farmer Ben had been hiding in the cornfield. When he saw who it was that he had by the collar, he was almost as surprised as Brother. Brother Bear, what in the world are you doing stealing my watermelon? At first, Brother was so ashamed he couldn't even answer. But then the whole story came tumbling out. How he got his sister's rope back. How they called him Chicken. How they double dared him. Well, said Ben as they walked through the chicken yard, chickens aren't very bright, but they're too smart to do something stupid because someone calls them a chicken. I guess so, said Brother Bear. Just ahead was the meadow where Ben's sheep were grazing. One of them, a large ram, that's a boy one, took it into his head to start running. And run he did, straight for the highway. Your sheep are headed for the highway, Ben, cried Brother. Don't worry, said Ben. Shep, my old sheepdog, will take care of him. Shep raced ahead, and he cut the sheep off just in time. Sheep are like that, said Ben. Follow a leader anywhere. Off a cliff, if that's what the leader decides. And some folks are like that too. Follow the leader wherever he goes, across the highway, over a cliff, to the edge of my watermelon patch. He looked at Brother, and Brother knew exactly what he was talking about. And speaking of watermelon, how about a nice, sweet, juicy slice with me? Could we? Said Brother Bear. Sure, said Ben, cutting a big center slice in half. And remember, this is a good one. Being part of a group is okay. And maybe even it having a leader. But you always have to think for yourself, especially about important things like what's right, what's wrong, what's safe, what's dangerous. And remember, Ben, said Brother, and I'll remember, and thanks for the watermelon. Brother Bear decided to head home by way of the highway. And who was waiting around the bend? The Too Tall gang. What happened? Asked Too Tall. Nothing much, answered Brother. They had a little talk and some watermelon. Hey, cool, said Too Tall. Well, come on, we're going over to the Widder Bruins and have a little more fun. No possible way, said Brother. What's the matter? Sneered Too Tall. Chicken? Bark, 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 clucked the gang. Ba, ba, bunch of sheep, answered Brother. Why don't you try thinking for yourselves for a change? They shouted. Ba, ba, bunch of sheep, Brother shouted back. But the cub's shouting was interrupted by another noise, the sound of someone crashing out of the woods. Oh boy. He doesn't look very happy. He looked a lot like Too Tall. He was much bigger. It was Too Tall's grandpa, 2-Ton Grizzly. What's up, Pop? Asked Too Tall. What's up? Growled 2-Ton. Is a little phone call I had from Farmer Ben about you. And, he added as he turned to the gang, If I hear of any more shenanigans, all of your parents are going to hear from me. Now get home. The gang got home as fast as their legs could carry them. Except for Too Tall, his grandpa had him. Show you the next picture. Hi, said brother to sister when he got back to the treehouse. Here's your jump rope. Oh, thank you, she said. How did you ever get it back from that awful Too Tall and his gang? Brother shrugged. I asked them for it and they gave it back. Said Mama. You asked them for it and they gave it back? Just like that? Well, said brother, going back to his tangled fishing line, not exactly like that. So, Brother Bear learned not to take a dare. They're almost always to do something you shouldn't be doing. Well, it's Maria from Still Dreaming Homestead. I love you. I really do. But even more importantly, God loves you, and He always will. All right, I'll be back tomorrow with a Bible story about our Bible friends. All right, good night. God bless.